What up, Cucks? It's your boy, the Hater, and I want to talk about the return of CM Punk. Now, this was a mixed moment for me. Now, it's no secret that I think CM Punk is an overrated hack who has no business being in wrestling, right? It's like, it's good that he came out wearing a shirt and he didn't go into the ring. Because if he stood next to like a Drew McIntyre or a Randy Orton, hell, even a Damian Priest, or even a Cody Rhodes for that matter, he would just look like the small jobber that he is. Now, that's neither here nor there. The point is CM Punk is back. All right. Now, with that being said, what does this mean? Well, I'll tell you what this means. Number one, CM Punk, for better or for worse, even if I don't like him, he is a big deal in wrestling, right? I said it, cucks, I said it. Now, is he a big deal in the sense that he's going to put asses in seats? Absolutely not. Nobody cares about CM Punk. There's going to be a slight boost to Raw just to see what he's going to say, and then it's going to wean off real quick, right? Now, will WWE make their money? Probably, because all they got to do is sell a few shirts, and people are really excited about CM Punk, and CM Punk does sell merch, right? Because he has a lot of loyal fans who will buy basically any shirt that says CM Punk on it. So there you have it. Now, with all that being said, what does this mean for wrestling? Well, number one, CM Punk is obviously not going to address it, but he needs to talk about that promo that he cut when he went to AEW about how the day that he joined WWE was the day that he left wrestling, right? He needs to address that because that's nonsense, right? Obviously, WWE is where he's going to get the biggest pop. It's going to be where he gets the most money. It's going to be where people know him the most, even though nobody knows him. It's obviously the highlight of his career and everyone else's career, right? Like Roman Reigns said about Dean Ambrose, he said he's happy about Dean Ambrose in AEW, but let's be real. If Dean Ambrose could have been the guy in WWE, he would be the guy in WWE. He wouldn't go to AEW, right? It's always these losers that can't cut it in WWE that go to AEW and then pretend that like, oh, I was tired of WWE. No, you weren't. You just weren't good enough. They were going to have you job to Nia Jax because you're a jobber. And you're like, oh, I'd rather go and wrestle Darby Allin. So that's what you did. Good for you. Same thing here, right? CM Punk, WWE and him don't have a good relationship. And he goes to AEW and he straight up says to them, or he says to the fans, oh, this is real wrestling. WWE is not real wrestling. So where does this put us, right? Is now AEW still real wrestling? WWE isn't, right? That's the first problem I have with CM Punk. Problem two, what is he going to do, right? People are already saying they should have Roman Reigns versus Cody, which nobody wants to see. And they should have Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, which I would want to see that. That's actually quite entertaining because Seth Rollins and CM Punk seem to have some real life beef, with Seth Rollins correctly stating that CM Punk is cancerous, a bore, and that he doesn't want him anywhere in WWE. Now, that being said, that's not good enough to do a feud, right? The feud is going to go like this. Seth Rollins is going to come out. He's going to do some Seth Rollins promos, some snarky promos about how CM Punk left with his tail behind his legs, and then he got fired because he couldn't handle working out and, working, I should say, with a bunch of hacks like Kenny Omega, other people that basically Seth Rollins doesn't respect, right? That's what Seth Rollins is going to say. On the other hand, CM Punk is going to say he's going to do what every quote-unquote legend does, and that's tell them the guy that's coming up, he's going to tell them that they're not good enough, right? That's going to be CM Punk's promo to Seth Rollins. Like, if I were here, you would still be in the Shield carrying my bags. He's going to say something like that. So it's like, I'm not looking forward to it because I know what's going to happen, right? I never was entertained by CM Punk's pipe bomb promo because I'm like, this is obviously fake. It tries to blur the lines, but it's lame, right? It's like they're supposed to have me believe that for some reason Luke Gallows and Tyson Kidd are better than Cena. That's absurd. Yeah, everybody knows that's nonsense. So, Tyson Kidd, he's a workhorse, is he? Anyways, the point is, let me put it to you this way, right? I have no interest in seeing where this goes. Now, with that being said, the obvious star of WWE is Roman Reigns, right? It's not even close. You have Seth Rollins as the pretend champion that nobody cares about. Here's how I know. In the main event of this pay-per-view, he's probably the fourth guy that's relevant there, right? Of course, obviously, we have Randy Orton. His return is the number one. I mean, if you count CM Punk, he's the fifth guy, so let's count CM Punk. So you got Roman Reigns, I mean, you have CM Punk, obviously he's the number one guy at this point in terms of this segment. Then you got Orton, right? Then you have Seth Rollins. No, I'm sorry. What am I saying? Then you have Cookie Rhodes, who gets the pin. Then you have Damon Priest, who takes the pin, but he's the Money in the Bank. This entire match was about establishing Damon Priest as a real dude, as much as it was about having CM Punk and Orton there, right? Then you got Dominic Mysterio, who I believe, I thought about this during the match. I thought to myself, wow, this guy really has stepped out of his father's shadow. Then I corrected myself quickly. Obviously, he's never going to surpass Rey Mysterio. And then I had the awesome thought of like, well, the only person in this match, including CM Punk, that is even close to Rey Mysterio in terms of talent and legendary status is Randy Orton, right? Everyone else is far below Rey Mysterio, and they never will achieve Rey Mysterio status. CM Punk will never be as popular and as awesome as Rey Mysterio. Cody Rhodes will never be on that level. And then everybody else is just, it's not even worth discussing, right? It's not even worth discussing. Obviously, Finn Balor and JD McDonough and Damien Priest and Jey Uso are never going to be on the status of Rey Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio, just by virtue of the fact that he's a young man, has a chance. But he has at least stepped out of his father's shadow and legitimately main evented a pay-per-view without Rey Mysterio being involved in the discussion at all. Now, with all that being said, let me put it to you this way. Roman Reigns still remains the number one. As a matter of fact, if Roman Reigns was in the ring and he was in this match, he would be the number one. He would be more important than CM Punk, and he'd be more important than Orton, and he surely would be more important than Cookie Rhodes, who's out there teaming with Jey Uso, right? So what does that mean? I'll tell you what that means. CM Punk's return is muted to a certain extent, because if he's going to be a main eventer, he surely didn't come to WWE to wrestle Seth Rollins for the jobber title that was invented last week when CM Punk was like the AEW champion, right? He didn't come for that. If he came, he wants to do what he couldn't do in the past, which is main event WrestleMania. I don't think he will, but that's probably what he wants to do, right? Now here's the problem with that. CM Punk likes to convince himself that his match with Undertaker was the real main event. It wasn't. I was there that night, and people, even though obviously they were looking forward to CM Punk Taker, obviously for Taker's sake, not for CM Punk, right? People were looking forward to The Rock, John Cena way more at the arena. And I'm told, I've never watched the pay-per-view on like WWE Network or anything like that, and I'm told that the hype of the match didn't translate well. I was told this by someone that did watch it and who was also there. But the truth is, if we say it like we say it, CM Punk wants to be in the main event, and that's just never going to happen against Seth Rollins, right? It's just not going to happen. They might give him the main event of night one at WrestleMania, which is another pretend main event. Like, I'd rather be like co-main event in night two or whatever. That's neither here nor there. The point is, he should have come back and interrupted Roman Reigns. That's the thing that makes the most sense. He has a history with Paul Heyman, right? And he has a history with Seth Rollins to a degree, but obviously his history with Paul Heyman is far superior, right? His history with Paul Heyman is 100 times more important than that with The Shield. And even though, even if The Shield was still around, it would be more important. But Seth Rollins has nothing to do with The Shield anymore. It's been like 10 years. So that being said, cuckolds, the truth of the matter and the fact of the matter is exactly what I just said. CM Punk should have debuted, I should say, re-debuted, against Roman Reigns in a segment. Like, Roman Reigns comes out, maybe after the next pay-per-view, or even better, you have Roman Reigns beat LA Knight again in a 10-minute match at Survivor Series. I don't know. I don't care what it is, right? You have that be the main event. You have Roman Reigns beat somebody, and then CM Punk comes out, and that gives us hope for CM Punk being in the main event, which he doesn't deserve, but it would be interesting, nevertheless, as a concept, right? As a potential match. Now, with all that being said, let me put it to you this way, right? What does he gain from coming out in Chicago, right? What does he gain from doing that? Why would anyone in the ring care, right? Like, maybe he just did it for the fans. Good for him, right? But the truth is, people don't want to see CM Punk do what he does best, and that's continue to return to different companies throughout his career. Nobody cares. As far as I can tell, nobody cares. If anything, I want CM Punk to do things that he would be good at, right? He would be good at having a promo against Paul Heyman. I'm actually compelled to see what he would say to Paul Heyman. You could even do a story where Paul Heyman might consider betraying Roman Reigns. Obviously, he wouldn't, because Roman Reigns is better. But that would be a compelling story, right? You could put that in the center of the story. And with all of these things being said, right, none of these things happened, right? It seems to me that the path for CM Punk is going to be wrestling like, I don't know, Cucky Rhodes. Not Orton, because Orton just came back. But Seth Rollins, probably being a face and teaming with Seth Rollins for a while to go after Judgment Day. It's going to be just a waste of everybody's time. It's going to lead to nothing. People aren't going to care as much. But I will say this. I mean, give credit where credit's due, right? CM Punk is back. That means what? I'll tell you what that means. That means that CM Punk has a legitimate chance of winning the relatively upcoming and relatively soon to be here Royal Rumble, right? He has to be one of the favorites. I mean, I don't think he's going to win, but he has to be one of the favorites, right? Because it's like, who's going to win? I don't think it's going to be LA Knight like people thought, right? I really don't see it being Cucky Rhodes. That's just like, that's too big of an honor. It could be Randy Orton, but he's already won twice. Some people do win 3 times like Stone Cold, but that's just not going to happen. Given everything that's happened, it's not going to be Cena. It should be, right? But that's where we are right now, right? We're in a situation where, like, at the very least, CM Punk's return does put forward another potential Royal Rumble winner. And that's good enough in my book. So we'll see where this goes, cuckolds.